In today's show, we're looking at who you can stream in for different categories and for points leagues for Sunday to win your weekly matchup. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy Basketball, your daily fantasy basketball podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd and I am the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com and at YAHOO Sports Australia. And you can find me on Twitter, as always, at redrock_bball and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Thank you for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. Here we are, ready for Sunday's games. We're going to go through each category, who we can stream in there. We're going to talk YAHOO and ESPN points leagues just quickly. Yes, my voice does sound different. Yes, I am sick. No, it is not COVID, although it might be. I've done 3 rapid antigen tests. They've all come out negative. I did go for a PCR test today, just in case, because I was in contact with a COVID positive person. So we'll see what that ends up being. I feel like shit, but that's why my voice is off. So let's go and let's talk about some streamers here for Sunday. YAHOO points leagues. We're looking at these options. Now these guys are all available in over 50% of leagues on YAHOO. Nickeil Claxton, Nasir Little, especially with Larry Nance out. Herbalife Jones still available in YAHOO points leagues. And while I do have some skepticism of Jones maintaining this level of production all season, I'm getting more and more thinking more and more that Zion's not playing this year. One of the weird things with Jones is he's shooting like 84% from the line. He shot 60% from the line in college. It is a gigantic jump up, putting up big numbers. Anyway, roster him. Marvin Bagley, Dorian Finney-Smith with Doncic out, Brandon Clark in Memphis with Dylan Brooks now going down today. By the way, if D'Anthony Melton's available, you go and add him. I don't think that Brooks is going to be back anytime soon. And deeper league, Zaire Williams, Kyle Anderson when he returns. Maxi Kleber's a good stream. D'Anthony Melton, as I just said. And Patrick Mills with no Kyrie Irving. Millsy will be back in action. Well, we hope he's doing something because he started last game and did nothing, but hopefully he's doing a little bit more than that. For ESPN points leagues, again, these guys are all available in over 50% on ESPN. I think Anthony Simons is available in like 80% of leagues. Don't know what you blokes are doing over there. As I say it all the time, I know there's a lot of casuals, a lot of inactive leads, but there can't be that many. There cannot be that many. Anthony Simons needs to be rostered everywhere. Nick Claxton is a good stream. Jared Vanderbilt Bar, Herbalife Jones, Dorian Finney-Smith. The wild thing, Jayshawn Tate.
Even the wild thing's gone well. I can't do much about that.
Nasir Little, Daniel Gafford. Really, I don't know why he's not rostered in that many leagues. Brandon Clark's a good option, and Marcus Morris, absolute must-roster player until at least Paul George returns, and he's still floating around on tons of waiver wires over there on ESPN. So if you are playing on ESPN and you see these guys like Simons, like Jones, like Gafford, like Morris, they're not just must-roster to stream in on Sunday, they are absolutely bloody must-roster blokes right across at least the short term, if not the rest of the season. Let's flick it across now and talk category leagues. We're going to go through each of the main categories. If you guys are watching this and you do play in a league with different categories, let me know, all right? Because I'm doing the main ones. Points, threes, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, field goal, free throw percentage. I know common categories are 3-point percentage. Common categories might be double-doubles, which is a shocking category. But if there is another category that you want me to look at as a stream option for those niche-y sort of blokes who are playing in non-standard, can you drop it in the YouTube comments? And if enough people comment on the same thing, on the same category, maybe we'll include it as an option. Anyway, if you're looking to stream points in for Sunday, Bryn Forbes, with everyone out in San Antonio, he's going to get more shots, he's going to get more minutes, so he's a good option. Marvin Bagley's a point scorer. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I don't think he's very good, but Josh Hart is out. So there's going to be some minutes available for Alexander-Walker, and surely, without Hart, those minutes push up, surely. The Discman, Cedi Osman, Lonnie Walker, much like Bryn Forbes with everybody out. Nasir Little and Benny McLemore with no Lillard or no McCollum in Portland. Keita Bates-Diop and Josh Primo in San Antonio with Keldon out and with Vassell out and with Derek White out. And then in Sacramento, Davion Mitchell. He might be an option for some points too. For 3-pointers, Macklemore, Forbes, Osman, as my throat's about to die. Alexander Walker. Talked about these guys a lot already. Josh Primo, Maxi Kleber. He's playing pretty well at the moment, Kleber. Garrett Temple. Again, boost without Josh Hart. Nico Batum. Bones Highland. And Lonnie Walker the fourth. Look at some rebound options now. Marvin Bagley, Nasir Little, Maxi Kleber, Keita Bates-Diop, Jermichael Green, who has taken over the starting job. We don't know if it's long-term or not, but he is starting in Denver. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl is the starting center for the Thunder. Kevon Looney, Darius Baisley, good rebounder there, obviously. Dwight Powell and Nico Batum for the Clippers. If your house is full of sugary treats, in 2022, why don't you make a new start and chuck them out? In fact, Jack Armstrong would like you to do this to the sugary treats.
Get that garbage out of here!
And replace them with Built Bar. Built Bar is the best tasting protein bar ever. It is low in carbs, it is low in fat, it is low in sugar, it is low in calories. But it is high in protein, and importantly, it is high in taste. Unbelievably delicious, these bars. So replace those sugary treats as you'll look to lose weight or stack on muscle. Built Bar is going to be able to help you with both of those things. So head to Built.com and use our promo code LOCKED15, that's LOCKED15, and load your cart up with boxes of Built Bar. It is the best tasting protein bar ever, pretty clearly, and I cannot tell you how good these taste. Just go and try them out. You will not be disappointed. Go to Built.com, use the code LOCKED15. Built Bar is built different. All right, let's look at some assists options. It's always hard to find assists to stream in off the waiver wire. We're looking at Andre Iguodala, Rajon Rondo, who amazingly in his first game for the Cavs took 6 free throws. He had taken 2 for the entire season prior to that. So I think a little bit about what Rondo did in that first game is not really replicable, but good assist streamer. Tyus Jones, without Dylan Brooks, a good assist streamer. Davion Mitchell, Roderick Hampton Jr., Nickeil Alexander Walker, Garrett Temple, Taylor Horton Tucker, Dennis Smith Jr. with no Lillard. He's playing pretty well, I think, Smitty. And the discman, C.D. Osman. Let's look at steals. Gary Payton. I don't know where the doctor's going to fit in. Klay Thompson's returning. So Payton obviously goes to the bench. Does he play? Does he play over Damian Lee? Does he play over Jordan Poole? I don't know what they're going to do. His role is really intriguing. Garrett Temple's a good steal streamer, as is Osman and Batum. Stan Johnson, who's been starting for the Lakers. I think he might do that again. Chuma Okeke, John Bembry, Taylor Horton Tucker, Josh Primo, and Jermichael Green can be a pretty solid stream option for steals as well as a big man. For blocks, Nasir Little, Darius Baisley, Maxi Kleber. Maxi Kleber, very good block streamer here. Nico Batum, Garrett Temple, Naz Reid, even though he's the backup, 1 or 2 blocks could come his way. Kevon Looney, who's playing pretty solid basketball. We still don't really have any sort of firm update on James Wiseman's return. Derek Jones Jr., great shot blocker. Should be starting again for the Bulls. Onyeka Okongwu. Now, I don't know at this point about Clint Capella. He sprained his ankle at the end of the last game. And if he is out, Okongwu we're just adding everywhere. Like, he is a guaranteed must-add player. In fact, I would add Okongwu right now anyway. Stream him in for blocks, but he's a must-add player. If Capella misses time, Okongwu is going to blow up. KJ Martin, also a pretty good blocks streamer. Field goal percentage. Damian Jones. Even if he is a backup, there's still some value in his ability to get field goal percentage. Okongwu, who we just spoke about. Gary Payton, one of the best 2-point shooters in the entire NBA somehow. Dwight Powell, Jackson Hayes. Again, as a backup, even if he goes he could go 6 or 7, and that's really good value for the field goal percentage. Derek Jones Jr., Cody Zeller, who might be returning, Marvin Bagley, Kevon Looney, and DeAndre Bembry. And then for free throw percentage, Gallinari, Bryn Forbes, Tyus Jones, Bones Highland, Lonnie Walker, the Moose, Mike Muscala, really good free throw shooter. Meth Curry, Tyler Johnson. Now, guess who he plays for? San Antonio, recently signed. And they're, of course, down a bunch of players, and he's a very good free throw shooter. Austin Reeves in LA, Jermichael Green, and Lou Williams. Before I let you go, though, I'm going to tell you that BetOnline is wishing you a happy new betting year. BetOnline is the #1 spot for all the sports wagering action in 2022. New year, so there's a new updated desktop site, or use their mobile site. Sign up today using our code LOCKEDON and get a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. From basketball to football, the NHL, boxing, UFC, or right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait and take advantage of all the great offers available for 2022. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all of your favorite sports. BetOnline is where the game starts. And that is where the game finishes for me today. So don't forget to follow this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and on the Odyssey app. If you're here on YouTube, give it a thumb up. Leave your comments down below. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.